this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. I'm Mike Kinney, your host. At all of our different episodes, we have coverage from great events, great cars, collectors, coverage of SEMA, the list goes on, and lots of different artists. We recently had a Kenny Youngblood with us in studio, and today we're kind of keeping up with that artistic flow, for lack of a better phrase. We are really thrilled to have with us the founder of Christ Jewelry. It is Christi Schimpke, and her team do some amazing art. And to give you an idea of what we're getting ready to talk about, before we bring her on, I think we have a little video we can run to let you know what Christ Jewelry is all about.
#1 desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air. That's how I roll. I got tons of soul. I'm a true collectible. Famous, so famous. #1 desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air. That's how I roll. I got change to throw. I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping incredible. Always on the show, so they know that I still got it, and I never feel sorry. Yeah, top of the world.
I love it. Drive it, wear it. Christi, welcome aboard to the show. We are thrilled to have you with us. How you doing this morning? Can you hear us on your end this morning?
Yes.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. That's right.
Okay, great.
So how you doing this morning?
Great. Glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it is my pleasure. And for the viewers, Christi and I got to know each other a few years ago at a Concours event, and I was walking by your booth, and I got to be straight up, girlfriend, you stopped me in your tracks. Then I learned the backstory of all of this, that in essence, this jewelry started out as piece of a high-end luxury vehicle sports car. Is that a good way to kind of summarize it?
That's a perfect way to summarize it, actually.
Wow. So how long you been in? So you've been at this a while now, right?
Right. Coming up on 10 years, actually. Wow. Yeah.
Very, very cool. And I think we got some pictures, some of events we can talk about, some of the different pieces we're seeing, the people are stopping by the booth as well. Let's see what we can pull up from the studio here.
Okay.
So what do we got going on here? That looks like a group.
Yes. So that was a private event. We have my studio is actually in my husband's body shop.
Perfect.
So that's the driveway of the body shop, and that was an event we had at Beverly Coachcraft, and it was mostly for women. So you can see there's all women there, and they brought their cars and
very cool.
shopped, and yeah, it was really cool.
I'm digging it. As well as we. Now, and anybody has a pink Mercedes, by definition, then you kind of go in that extra cool level, right?
I know, she's amazing. She's the one in front, the little one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have attitude to drive a pink Mercedes. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
See what else we got coming up. So this is a version of the display that kind of stopped me in my tracks, and again. And then just the way the booth is laid out, very quickly you realize just how unique this jewelry is.
Yeah. So this was in the driveway again of the body shop there, and this is in Ironstone Wineries, the Concours up there in the foothills of the Sierras in Northern California.
Wow.
That's at Amelia Island.
Oh, that's amazing event there, isn't it? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. And that again is at Beverly Coachcraft, same event. She's a stunt driver. This woman here.
Really?
Yeah, wow. She's incredible. Drifter, stunt driver. She's been in a lot of films.
Wow, very cool. So as we kind of talk a little bit about this process, and we got some other videos coming up that explains it. How did this kind of happen? So you're minding your own business, right? Your hubby's got this great, Beverly Hills Coach Works, which is just amazing. And then all of a sudden you said, well, I want to start making earrings and stuff. What happened?
Well, I'm a metalsmith, so I was making more traditional jewelry, like silver, gold, that type of thing. And I moved my studio into one of his garages. And this was during a time when metal prices were soaring. They were going crazy. And I was just sort of thinking, I can't really compete in this market anymore. And I was wondering, what I could do. And so every day I'd see these gorgeous cars come in, and I was always admiring the original factory paint. And I thought, I wonder where this metal goes. I wonder if I can do anything with it. And it just started as an idea. And then I had to sort of make it work. I thought it had a lot going for it from a marketing perspective, I guess.
Right.
But it took a while to make it work because the paint does not want to stay put.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, because that's one that intrigued me when I first met you guys, is that you have techniques. That's the original paint that was on the car. So when you do all this amazing metal work and you're bending and you're shaping, the paint doesn't pop off. It's like, wow.
No, well, sometimes it does. I mean, the variables are so crazy.
Yeah.
It depends on the car,
Sure.
the paint, which part of the car it comes from, because it could
point.
be thicker, it could be millimeters thicker on the door, say, than it is on the quarter panel. So we just learn as we go from each car, from each part of the car that it comes from.
Wow.
So since everything is handmade, we kind of baby it. We kind of baby it along, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, you kind of just nurse it through the process where it wants to or not. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so again, that old, picture's worth 1,000 words, videos is well beyond that. I believe we have a video coming up that gives you kind of a sense of the numerous steps it takes to have a fender or a door become a work of art. Let's see what we got, Rick. Mary had to laugh the house because I'm in my office and I got the big monitor. I keep watching that clip. Mary goes, you've seen that like 12 times, but it just fascinates me. To me, in this day of automation, high-speed assembly lines, get stuff done in milliseconds, there you are pretty much doing it all by hand.
Yes, pretty much every step. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's been some of the feedback from your different people to stop by your booth, some of your clients? And I imagine you have some clients that they do business with you remotely. They don't get a chance. You never get a chance to meet them, right? It's more online.
Right. Yeah. I do meet a lot of people online, but what's really interesting is these customers become almost like friends because they're so loyal, and they keep. I know they keep coming back, and beyond that, some of them are sending me their own car metal.
What? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. So, for example, I had one woman whose BMW, sorry about that, whose BMW was just totaled, and she was so disappointed and sent me a swath from her, I guess her hood, and I was able to make jewelry from her, so she has her car with her forever. Really.
Wow. Excellent. And so that's something for the viewers to think about. If you have a car that unfortunately got totaled, or if you're going to replace a whole fender, as an example, you could get a hold of Christi and you could probably get some ideas of what would be a nice piece of jewelry to make them part of that fender.
Oh yes, yes. It's happening more and more often now. It's pretty
really?
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's very cool. But some of the reactions are, most people when they come up to the booth, they don't really understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to explain it. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, how can you're looking at this and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And so when I start to explain it, you can see it click in their brain, and then they start to laugh. It's like, what?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. When I was at the Concours event, I was walking by your booth, and I said, okay, jewelry, no offense, but, jewelry. Then I paused and I says, luxury cars made from, and then I started talking to you, and I think one of your team members was there, and about 10 seconds into it, I went, what? And then I was hooked.
Yep.
So as I look at my notes, I got to ask, because especially with the type of work your hubby does, right? So what is your favorite automotive memory?
Well, there's a couple really,
Cool.
but the most current one would be when I attended the BMW performance driving school a few years ago at La Quinta. Yeah,
wow.
That was pretty amazing. I've never been on a track like that. It was at Thermal and in La Quinta, and it was incredible. So.
And those are usually a day or two long, right? And they really push you so you understand what the car can truly do.
Absolutely. And we go through 4 different activities and trials. It was it's such a high, when you leave, you're just the adrenaline is just pumping, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So here's going to be a tough one for you. Again, I'm thinking about all the different cars you see pretty much on a daily basis, much less the metal you're working on. What's your favorite car?
That's hard to say. I mean, I love the Porsche GT3. Yeah. I love that. But I do, and I haven't driven this one yet, but I like the Rivian truck. I like the way it looks.
Really?
I know it's odd,
wow.
but I know I like it.
Well, if that's the one that I told you, when you see the one, you go, that's it, right? Your heart picks up a little bit of a beat. It's a little harder to breathe. Your eyes start to glaze over and say, that's the one. That's how I am with my Superbird, right? Some people kind of go, really? And I say, that's my car, right? Because I think everybody has that version. And I always love asking that question. Well, to give you an idea, and we've been talking about this jewelry, well, we've got some shots coming up of it being displayed by some amazing models. Christi, let's walk you through, check out some of these pieces. This is just stunning.
Yeah, that's made from the earring, and the cuff is made from an Aston Martin. And I added a little brass accent on each piece.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That one is made from isn't that gorgeous? That's made from a BMW Estral Blue. And I added the gold overlay.
Oh,
but
goodness.
the original, but the car is the blue part underneath.
Beautiful. So obviously your metalworking skills complement this. Mary saw that one. She went, whoa.
This is my favorite. It's rather, sort of Versace-ish, I guess, if that's a word.
Yeah.
It's a Lamborghini. The color is Monterey blue, and those are vintage lion pieces and a carnelian in the middle.
Oh my goodness! So for a Lambo, that's kind of like a perfect design because Lambos by definition a little bit over the top.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Wow. I think.
These are, these are interesting. The cuff she's wearing is made from 2 different cars. The orange piece is from a Range Rover autobiography in a custom Lambo color. And the top piece, the top piece is made from a Porsche 911. And then I added the brass. And the piece she's wearing, the earring, is made from a Porsche Carrera. in Wimbledon green, and that's hematite, the stone that's at the top. And I engraved through the car paint to give it that sort of reptile kind of look. Yeah.
Wow. That is uber cool.
Thanks.
And this is the piece we saw being assembled. I love being able to have this because now the viewers guarantee you get a sense of what it took to be able to accomplish that great looking bracelet.
Oh yeah, I love this one. The B is steel. It's been stamped, and then the gold on top is applied in this technique called kembu, which is an ancient Korean technique. So you apply little pieces of 24 karat gold, and you heat both the steel and the gold up until it gets to the right temperature, and then they start to meld together. And you have to use an agate burnisher and just keep burnishing it until they completely form as one. Wow.
So it's becoming hopefully very self-evident to our viewers that your skill and your expertise and background and being a metalsmith or metal artist that's becoming, to me, very evident as reflected in how these different beautiful pieces are coming out.
Yes. Wow. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
So how long you been banging on metal before you started this?
Well, actually, it was a huge departure for me because my background is in art history, and
really?
I worked for a long time at the Getty Museum in various capacities. Yeah, so I did a lot of research, mostly a little bit of writing. So this was completely different from anything I'd ever done before.
Wow, very, very cool. And I got to thank you and your team sent us some amazing videos. So for the viewers, we have a video coming up I think you're really going to be stunned with. And I think we're going to leave it there, Christi, to kind of give them a little bit of a hint. So Rick, if you can, hit that play button, buddy.
Well, I'm the strange one. Well, all these madmen shoot their mouths off and out come parades. I'm the deranged one, yeah. But when I flat them, you pin your ego to the tales of charades. Call me the strange one. When all these sad men swing cold fantasies, you're fast asleep. I'm the deranged one, yeah. I'm wide awake, man. You're quoting teleprompters in your dream. It keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. Yeah, it's a madman. Yeah, it keeps getting better. Let's talk about the weather.
Okay, I don't know about the jewelry. I just want to go ride shotgun with her. I'm just saying.
I know, right? She's so pretty.
But I just, the energy in the video. And also what I really got me intrigued with your jewelry as I was looking at it, because I'm thinking, okay, nice bracelets on that. Well, do you do anything for guys? And with Rick's help, we do. And with Rick's help for viewers, for all the women, let your hubby know what's going on, your other half. For the guys, check this out, because I know there's a couple items I need to add to my stash when I'm doing some of my formal events. So Rick, I think we got a few pictures. These are just uber cool. I think it's the best way for me to say it.
Yeah, that's a Ferrari. It's made from a Ferrari Portofino.
Wow. We got a few more of these coming up. Now that's got a nice feel to it. Wow.
That does. That's a tire print, and that's made from a Jeep Cherokee, actually.
Really?
And and red velvet metallic is the color.
I drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so there we go.
There you go. You need that one. You need that one, Mike.
We got to have that. Wow.
And those are cufflinks. We make a lot of cufflinks, and those are made from a Tesla, actually.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool.
And another sort of tire tread, I guess, motif, and that's made from a Mercedes SL63 AMG in a matte, silver matte color.
Wow. Very, very cool.
And now we've got our Ferrari back again. That's a 360 Challenge Stradale and Rosa Corsa. And the cufflink is also, you can see it's the Rosa Corsa. And then the white is from a 458.
Wow. So as you see these different pieces of steel, it says, we could do this and we could do this. I got to look at my notes. And for the viewers, to let you know she's just, not this, has great talent, enjoys what you're doing. You've had some pretty good serious ink, including Car and Driver, DuPont Registry, and Esquire. So there's a lot of renowned publishers that really like what you're doing.
It's true. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I've gotten some good press, and I haven't really courted anyone. They've kind of come to me, which has been fantastic. Yeah. So
I got to ask, what was especially like DuPont Registry? To me, that's kind of, no offense to all the other publishers out there, it's kind of the Mac Daddy on some of this, especially for high-end cars looking for a new owner. What was it like being interviewed by DuPont Registry? That must have been incredible.
I thought it was great. They were great to work with, and they've got an amazing team, and it was just amazing to see it there when you open the magazine and there's your picture. It's like, what?
That's me.
That's mine.
For our viewers, we've been very lucky. Unfortunately, we have a wide demographic. We're pulling people from Australia now, and the list goes on. So for young artists or people maybe older and wanting to go and change their career and towards the artistic side, what kind of suggestions would you have for them to kind of help them get aimed the right direction?
Ooh, well, I think, just speaking personally, persistence. There are those days when you want to give up, but you got to step away from what you're doing and get a good night's sleep and come back the next day. But I think most importantly is don't listen to everybody. In the beginning, I had so many people telling me what to do. You should do this, you should do that, you should do this. And you get caught up in that because you start to lose yourself. And I think you should just really listen to yourself and what you believe in and keep going at it.
I think for our younger viewers, I won't get on a political soapbox, but especially with what I refer to as a social media silliness, just like you say, kind of persevere with where you can be, right? Because I imagine some people early on, they may not have been real impressed with what you're doing or very supportive.
No, they weren't. Yeah. But it's interesting to see how it's changed. Yeah. I mean.
So as far as your support team, obviously your husband's key in this, right? Because he's got space there now, and he's probably telling you, "Hey, honey, we got a real good car coming in." And so so what's he think? He does. Yeah. So what's he think about this success? He must be thrilled for you.
He really is. He's
cool.
He's a big fan, but I mean, what's really great is that we can sort of work together in this symbiotic relationship. And when I have problems with paint or rivets or whatever, I can kind of go to him for the technical expertise or the engineering background and sort of ask him, this is what I don't understand what's happening with this red paint. And he can talk to me. Yeah, he can sort of help me understand the process a little bit better.
And so the name of your husband's shop once again?
Beverly Coachcraft.
Beverly, that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's kind of self-explanatory. I think we got some pictures of some of your cars because I can just see you cruising down the street, just waving at the little people, just styling. Yeah.
That was a big surprise. He got that for me for my birthday, and I love that car. I wish I'd never sold it. I love that car.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
I loved it. Yeah. And this is what I'm driving now.
Oh, cool.
Which, I love this one too. I mean, it's great to drive up PCH with the top down. You can't beat it.
You cannot beat it. Absolutely. Go into Carmel and just relax. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's perfect. Yeah. And I wish this was my car, but it's not. Yeah, I just wanted to, pose in front of it. So there you go.
But you look good in front of the car, and I think that's that good-looking bracelet we talked about, maybe.
Yes, that's the one. It's my fave. Yeah.
Excellent. So before we say goodbye, just as you look back over what's happened with your career, and now you're in a kind of a different environment than you were before, and the accolades. Who's been one or two mentors you reflect on that really helped you with the trajectory of your success?
Well, my husband for sure.
Cool.
But I'd have to say this goes way back. But when I was in college, a professor was sort of got me turned into the direction of art that I wanted to go into, and I was a business major, and then when I started doing the art classes, she just I'd have to say she was a huge influence. Huge.
Very, very cool. So what kind of events do you have coming up before we say goodbye? People want to know where you'll be, right?
So this coming Sunday, I'm doing an open house, open studio event.
Beautiful.
And we're donating a portion of sales to the United Friends of Children,
Perfect.
which helps foster kids transition into adulthood. And then I'm doing the Heritage Group toy drive next Sunday. And
Very
then
cool.
that's it until 2023. And then everything starts all over again.
Starting with
again. With Amelia Island being the first one.
Yeah, to demonstrate it's a small world, I'm referred to as a CASA. I'm a court-appointed special advocate, and I take a foster child until they age out. So I represent them in court. I meet with their caseworkers, the attorneys, and I got to be candid, I get more out of it than they do, I think. It's just amazing, some of these children that just need somebody there.
Absolutely, Mike. I know CASA, and I actually
cool.
did some events for them and
Really?
donated.
Wow.
And they're
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
What an amazing group.
We're actually getting ready some fundraising we're doing for them, and it's just fantastic to be able to make a difference for these kids that really don't have a buddy in their corner. You know the drill. Well, how do people get a hold of you? I think we got some information for here.
Yeah, my website right there,
Okay.
crashjewelry.com, my email, and Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook. Well, we can't thank you enough for being on the show with us today. And I know there's going to be a Concours event coming up. I may sneak maybe if I put like a Mercedes, like a little hood on them on the Superbird, maybe I can sneak it in.
I think so, yeah.
So I know we're going to hook up face to face down the road, and I will definitely be getting some of your jewelry. And you viewers, you got to be checking all this out till we meet on the grass somewhere at the Concours event. You have a great weekend, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Mike. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
You betcha. Our pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. Do me a personal favor, like, subscribe, and share, and ring the bell, and share the word of what we're doing with everything going on in the automotive culture. Until next time, enjoy the ride.